Okay.
Record on computer. We are recording. So I'm very excited to pass the reins over to Vanessa tonight for our team call. Quick couple of things since it's our first call of March, which is crazy. Team Fit Foodie Success Club prize this month for PS coaches is going to be a Team Fit Foodie sweatshirt. So last month we did certification sweatshirt. This year we'll do Team Fit Foodie sweatshirts. Reminder to check in the back office on updates on summit ticket prices. I'm starting to put together little goodies for everyone coming to summit as well. Make sure you are reading up. I know that this launch has been confusing. It's been confusing for me too, and it's actually been confusing for a lot of people, so you're not alone if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the Ultimate Portion Fix stuff. There's a lot of different components, which I think is what's throwing everybody off. So as a general rule, coaches and people who are enrolling as a coach can purchase Ultimate Portion Fix anytime between now and the 17th. And then on the 18th is when it opens up for customers to purchase it. So if someone doesn't want to become a coach, they can purchase it starting on the 18th. If someone is willing to enroll as a coach, they can purchase it now through their enrollment and be added to Autumn's test groups. There are 2 test groups that Autumn is running. One is for coaches who purchase Ultimate Portion Fix, and that's where she'll be uploading the reshoot of 21 Day Fix starting April 1st. And 2 is the coach group for those who are getting certification, which is where she's going to start the master coach certification kind of training. So it's 2 groups, not one. If you have a coach enroll with Ultimate Portion Fix but not certification, they will still get access to one of Autumn's groups. So a little bit confusing. The National Wake Up Call is helpful from yesterday. The FAQs in the back are helpful. Kind of just start to absorb information and digest it in pieces. I know that this is kind of a weird launch with a lot of different facets. So I've kind of just been taking it in and figuring it all out myself. Last thing about that is you do, like, to be certified, I recommend it. If you're able to swing it, it'll give you a really good in-depth understanding of the program, especially with the new things that are being added to portion control to fixate essentially. But you don't have to have the certification in order to help your challengers through it. So if they purchase the program, they're going to have the full program, which is videos, and it describes everything. You being a certified coach kind of just takes it next level and adds some more value to that. But you do not need to be certified to help your challenger work through it. So I admittedly have not looked at any of the materials yet. I purchased it on Monday. I haven't had a second to look through anything yet. But that's on my list to start going through certifications and the videos. But it does go hand in hand with the workbook that comes with the order. So try not to get too far ahead of yourself, because that workbook is going to go hand in hand with it. You're going to want to make sure that you follow along, almost like taking a class. Okay, cool. That is all that I have. Oh, really quick last thing. Those of you who are on here are already in the chat. If you're watching the recording and you have not been included in the chat for our March 11th Instagram sneak peek, you need to tell me, because we're really breaking down the logistics of that. And because it's like a few different teams and multiple coaches, I don't want it to get really confusing. So I want to make sure that everybody that's going to be doing it is doing it. And so it needs to happen like right now, today, if you want to join it. Okay, I'm passing the torch over to Vanessa. I'm ready to take notes. I'm very excited to hand this call over to you.
All right. Well, hello. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this. It's kind of been a new approach that seems to kind of be working. So I'm excited to share it, to hopefully, pass it along, and you guys can do it as well. But I feel like it's more of a natural way to meet and invite people. So that being said, doing a video call or a chat, because not everybody wants to do a video call. They're able to hear me talk. They're able to hear my passion and just my excitement about what it is that we're offering. Whereas coming from a text from me, they're going to probably take it as like me being pushy or bitchy sometimes I come across, or impatient. So I get lost in text. I tend to word vomit a lot. And I'm not very good with text. So what they're getting from a text is just completely different than what I'm trying to pass along. And then not to mention waiting for them to read the message and to reply to you. So if you have them on a call, it's getting done all there at once. Like, it's hard for them. They're not going to just hang up on you. Like, you guys are going to talk, you're going to have a chat. And for the most part, the people that you're going to be talking to or inviting to a chat are your people. So once you get them on the phone, chances are you're going to be having like small talk and like hitting it off really well, because those are your people. So it's easy to have that initial conversation. For instance, I just spoke to a girl before this, and it was really easy because we had already been texting a little bit. So I do still have a text, a few conversations in the beginning. I usually get a feel for where they're at. But once I sense that they want more information, I try to then offer like a call or a chat and just be like, hey, I'd love to get you more information. Are you open to doing a quick call or a chat? And then I tell them, look, it's more personal. I feel like we can talk more about the information that I have to offer. And it just comes across a lot easier. So I do tell them, I'm honest with them, and that's it. And I do tell them, I tend to, word vomit. That usually is what I tell them. And so far, I want to say majority of people that I've offered it to have been like, yeah, totally. And then I set up a call like as if it's a meeting. It doesn't always happen like that same day. So it's usually like, based on my schedule and their schedule. I think that also comes across as professional because like I'm busy. I have a daytime job, and I have a kid, so I know my schedule. And there's certain times that I can offer them. So I usually ask them like, what are a couple good dates and times that work for you? This is what works for me. And then we kind of just bounce back and forth. Now I know that you can also, through Google, send like a meeting reminder. I haven't done that. I think it is actually a really good idea just because I've had one or two people not show up to the meeting, and it's kind of annoying because you put them in your schedule and they didn't show up. So sending them like a Google reminder is definitely handy to do. So that's something I'm going to start doing. But like I followed up with the girl today, and I was just like, hey, Lisa, are we still good for 7:30? And she responded, and she's like, yeah, I'll talk to you then. So that was great. Basically, where this came from was, I don't know, most of you probably know I work in sales. I work for a moving company, and I spend my day giving out quotes. So I'm talking to these people, whether it's on the phone or going to their homes and meeting them, and taking list and note of their inventory. And with that, I'm building a relationship. So when I talk to them over the phone or when I go to their house, I'm representing the company that I work for. And, I'm a friendly person. So I try to, I'm just myself. I'm basically myself when I go to these places. And moving is very stressful. So I know already that these people are stressed out. They have a lot of things to make decisions, whether it's closing on a house or whatnot. And chances are they're talking to a lot of other moving companies also. So building the relationship and making them feel comfortable, I think is a lot of the times how I end up getting the deal with them. I've been told that my quote has come in higher than other companies, but they still have chosen to move forward with me because of the relationship, or because the way I made them feel, that I made them feel comfortable and felt good moving forward. And to me, I think that speaks pretty highly, because it is sales. And Beachbody, there is some sales component to it, but it's also building a relationship. You're trying to, attract people that relate to you. So getting to know them and for them to relate to you is, building a relationship. So again, talking to someone on the phone, talking to them through a chat, I feel is very natural, and they can sense a lot of that from you, from doing that. So that being said, usually to start a call, I always come prepared. I usually have a shake with me or a pre-workout or something, because it gives you something to talk about. So I always bring one of those on hand. But let's see. So my notes. So I spoke about when to suggest a call. Oh no, I didn't. So when I start to notice when someone is getting like frustrated or they don't understand because it's coming through text, and again, I lose it through text, and you can kind of sense that they're getting frustrated with that, is a good time to say, you know what, hey, why don't we jump on a call really quick before you lose them? And then there are times, I know that they want to hear more information, and they ask, can I get more information, whether it's on coaching or a challenge pack. I'm quick to just say, yeah, I want to give you that information. Do you want to jump on a call? I feel like it's more personal. Why don't we jump on a call and kind of get to know each other? That way, I'm a real person. I know you're a real person. And I can get you the information. So that's when I kind of start to suggest the call. Keep in mind, so far for me, these calls tend to last about an hour. I don't think it's ever lasted shorter than an hour, because again, once you get on the phone with this person, you guys start to have conversation. You start to have small talk. You get to know each other. It's not all business. Like most of it's not even business. It's more like getting to know each other and just chit chatting it up and becoming besties, basically. So yeah, the call they're usually about an hour. So when the call starts, again, it's usually like small talk. But I ask them questions. First, I let them know that I'm going to take notes. That way, if you're doing a video chat, they don't see you like on your phone or writing down and thinking like, that you're being rude or anything like that. So I let them know that I'm going to take some notes just so that I can, resort back to that and answer any questions. And that also comes across pretty professional, I feel like, because they know that you're taking them seriously. So take notes, and then I just start to ask them questions. I like to ask them, basically I start with, tell me from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, what does your day look like? And with that, they are telling you, like, you're going to get so much information out of them telling you their day. They're going to tell you the motivation that they lack. They're going to talk about their eating habits throughout that time. They're going to talk about cravings. They're going to talk about workouts. You're going to know if they're already going to a gym or if they're part of anything. They're going to talk about their social life. So you're going to get a lot of information, and you'll be able to recommend what product to offer them and what program to offer them. You'll get a sense if they're a beginner or if they're already into fitness and if it's something that they already do. If they're a runner and they're just looking to build endurance, you're going to get a lot of answers just from listening to what they have to say. And then when that's done, I relate to them. I relate to whatever they say. Think about the times when you first started this. I'm a mom, so I tend to attract moms. And a lot of the times I can relate, because by 2:00, 4:00 in the afternoon, we're tired, we're hungry, and we tend to like munch while cooking dinner. Or the lack of motivation to do a workout. You have kids, or you're just tired in general. You don't want to get up early, and you have the lack of motivation to do a workout, or you think you're going to do a workout in the morning and you plan for it in the afternoon, but then you come home and you're just like, no, this workout's not going to happen. So right there, that they could use Energize. So I relate to their story. And most of the time so far, I always want to recommend every single product that we have, because it just seems like they always need it. Like, they need the shake. They need the energize for energy, and they need the recovery because they hate being sore. So half the time you do want to offer it all, but you also don't want to overwhelm them. But again, I'm very honest, and I tell them, I'm like, oh my God, you match up to like every single thing that we offer, and I want to offer it to you, but you know, your cart is going to get kind of pricey, and I don't know where your budget's at. And then you can kind of talk about money and ask them about their budget. Or for instance, the girl that I just spoke to now, I told her I was going to build her a cart and share it with her, and then let her choose what she really wants. But that, listening to her story, I knew that she would benefit from these products. And then, you know, the ball's in her court. She can take items off of the cart however she likes. But I explained each thing. I explained to her how the shakes would benefit her, because she works for a law firm. She's always on the go. Having a shake with her in the morning. She said she doesn't like to eat breakfast, so having that shake with her, she'd be able to take it with her to work and just have that. I offered the Energize because she says when she comes home from work, she always wants to do a workout, but then she loses the motivation. And she wasn't talking about doing a home workout. She was talking about going to the gym and just not having the energy or the motivation by the time the end of the day came. So I knew Energize would be perfect for her. And then, oh, the bars, because I wanted her to try the bars because she talked about coming home and just being hungry and just munching on everything in sight. And she also said she ate very healthy. It was just those little struggles. Another thing to listen to is where they spend their money. You can ask them like, hey, do you go to Starbucks every day? Do you drink coffees? Or do you cook your meal? Do you prep your meals and bring them to work? Or do you eat out? Because then right there, you can let them know, like, okay, if they start to talk to you about the price of the shakes, you know, you let them know, like, how about we try to cut back on the Starbucks? I had a client that talked about drinking Red Bull every day. I already knew that I wanted to offer her Energize to replace the Red Bull, but we all know Red Bull is like $3 or $4. So right there, I was also able to tell her, try this Energize. You're going to save on the money from Red Bull, and you're also going to be putting better things into your body versus gross Red Bull. So that is something to definitely listen to. That way, you know how to come back to them when they say that it's too expensive. And then, yeah, I also, you know, you ask for their goals. When they start to sound interested, you just ask them, why are they doing this? What are their goals, and why are they their goals? Same goes for us. And then listening to their routines, ask them about their family, just, you know, questions. I ask a lot of questions on these calls, and I listen to them. And then that's it. The closing kind of sales pitch is just that, you know, chances are, I mean, every call that I've been on, I've been able to relate to them. And I just tell them my story and how it's worked for me and what this has done for me. And then if you have time, I don't know if the person is into the coaching or not. I know Leah has tried this. She's watched the coaching video with them. I think that's a great idea, because instead of sending them the link to watch it on their own, watching it with them and then being able to answer any questions. Again, you have them right there, and they have to respond to you because you're right there with them. So watching a video, if they're into the coaching, is great. That actually brings me to talk about when you are kind of sealing the deal and getting a cart ready for them. I usually have them on my phone, and then I have my iPad here, and I'm building them a cart, and I'm asking them, like, you know, I'm letting them know what I recommend that they do, what they start with, and I'm building a cart. And then that comes into the coaching. I used to say coaching. I would ask them, hey, do you want to be a coach? And I stopped doing that because I think the word coaching really scares people. It intimidates them, and they just immediately say, no, I don't want to coach. And they don't listen to anything else that you have to say. They don't listen to that if it's a 25% discount. They don't listen to anything because it scares them, and it's not their thing. So I started saying that it's a VIP membership. So I would tell them, look, you have the opportunity, you're signing up with a challenge pack right now, you have the opportunity to enroll in a VIP membership. It's usually a $40 fee, but because you're signing up with a challenge pack, it's free. They waive the $40. And then there on out, you will get a 25% discount on all products. Now, if it's products that you find that you like I understand you haven't tried them yet, you don't know if you're going to like them, but once you get them and you start trying them and you realize that you do like them, then you'll continue to get this discount. And that seems to work because I usually tell them like there's no harm in signing up now for that. It's free. You're not charged for it. You can cancel it later. And then I do let them know. I compare it to like Costco or something. And I tell them like, there is a small fee. It's $15 every month. But if you are enjoying these products and you're ordering them monthly, then you won't notice that $15 fee. You're going to notice the amount of savings. So I kind of briefly talk about that, but I don't, unless they're looking to be a coach, I mention it to be just like a VIP membership, and kind of just let them know savings. Everybody wants to save. And that I think is it. We did the VIP membership. And then no one has actually ever signed up on the phone with me, because they want to see it in front of them. They want to be able to look at it and kind of see what it is. So I have done like the carts with them and kind of done it with them. Like, okay, I'm adding this to it. What flavor do you want? Because remember, like, don't hang up before you find out what the flavor that they want in the shake or what flavors they want in anything. Because if you hang up, then you have to follow up and be like, oh yeah, I forgot to ask you what flavors. So, and I've done that, and that was kind of annoying. So I kind of learned from that. But doing the share cart with them on the phone, brings them into it. And then you basically just say, look, I'm going to send you the share cart, and, let me know when you sign up. Let me know what you think. Nothing is finalized. You can take things off. We can change things out. Let me know if you need help with anything. And then the times that I've signed people up, they seem pretty like positive about it. Like it's a done deal. So one girl said she was signing up once we got off the phone. She didn't, and I was waiting around for her. And then I think the next morning I asked her, I said, hey, I just wanted to follow up. Like, I didn't see it go through. Were you still interested? No, that's not what I said. I was like, I'm just checking in with you. Let me know when you decide to purchase your challenge pack. That way I can give you a shout out and also introduce you to the group. And that kind of like, it's a follow-up, but it's kind of a laid back follow-up, and you're just letting them know like, hey, you want to add them to this group. You've already spoken about the group. And this girl said, yeah, I'm actually going to sign up right now after breakfast. I was waiting for this payment to go through or something. And she did. She ended up signing up later that morning, and that was it. So I think that's it. That's what's been working for me.
That was so good. I have so many notes, written down. Vanessa, seriously, that was all pure gold.
Okay, because I don't know if I was talking too fast.
No, it's so good. And what I love about this is like, and I think we've talked about this before, is that this is classic network marketing. I mean, before social media was a thing, like this is how you built a business. And I think that it's interesting because we went through like these phases, right? Where first it was these like phone calls and in person and setting meetings. And then it was, well, social media and Instagram and Facebook are a thing, and everyone was doing everything on that. And now that so many people are on social media building businesses, everyone wants that connection back. And so you have the best of both worlds going on, where you have this universe of people to meet through an amazing platform like Instagram or any social media. And then you're adding back the human touch by doing exactly what you're doing. And the relationship is built in that phone call because you're reading body language and you're hearing tone of voice. that's why even if you're not able to hop on a call, why voice notes are so important, because people need to hear your voice and know who you are. And I just love everything that you just said. It was so good. I'm so excited to set up calls this week.
Good.
Does anyone have any questions for Vanessa? I muted everyone. Sorry. I wanted to make sure that
how do you go about, like when you talked about asking if they drink Starbucks and stuff, how do you politely talk about like how they could stop drinking that kind of stuff as often to be able to afford shakes and stuff? Or did I misunderstand that?
No, I think that's like when I'm listening to like their day-to-day type of thing, and they mention that they stop at Starbucks every morning for their morning cup of coffee or something. When I talk about relating to them, I mention I used to drink Starbucks every day too. But when I realized how much sugar goes into those drinks, and when I realized that I wanted to cut costs so that I could afford the Shakeology, when I realized Shakeology breaks down to, I don't know, like $4.88 per cup, I started to make my own coffee at home. And I now bring it in a thermos and I have it at my desk throughout the whole day. So again, it's kind of just like relating and then telling them what you do. Not everyone's gonna love that, because I know going to Starbucks is like a thing for a lot of people, but they might not be aware really how much they're spending. And when you kind of just point that out to them, you're calling them out on it, and they're just like, oh, like whether they admit to it then and there or they think about it later and they're like, huh, I'm spending $5 on a cup of coffee like every single day, and sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. They kind of I think it's going to sink into them later. I mean, I know the Red Bull couple, the husband got Red Bull, but he got it for free because he would get it from his restaurant. But then he realized at that very moment, he was like, oh, but Joanna, she drinks Red Bull every day and she pays for it. And it hit him right then and there that he was like, wait a minute, we're spending like a lot of money on those Red Bulls for her to drink them. And it kind of was just an instant, they realized, you know, the amount that they were spending it on. I think, did that answer your question? Okay.
You're so right about the Starbucks thing too. I used to spend $6.27 every single day at Starbucks on like an almond milk skinny blah 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 blah, thinking like this was a healthier option than what I really wanted at Starbucks. But it was over $6 for a coffee that did nothing for my my body nutritionally. And then Shakeology breaks down, and that's without the coach discount. I think it's like $4.33 or something like that. So it's so smart to do that. The question that you asked right in the beginning about walking through their day really does give you almost everything that you need to know. That's just so freaking amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to ask somebody that through text, and for them to like respond it, like reply with their whole day in a text. So yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would be like, I don't know, work.
Yeah. Exactly. Very vague answers.
Yeah.
But they can't be vague when you have them on the phone. So, I mean, they can be, but then if they are vague, that's up to you to kind of pull that out of them. And I don't know. I mean, the calls are a little intimidating because you are talking to a complete stranger. But at the same time, I feel like you've already kind of started talking to them, and you know, you're getting along. Like they said yes to a call, so you've probably had a couple conversations, like small talk. And I know the people that I've been building relationships with have been no business talk whatsoever. It's been about just personal building relationships, and then they happen to mention something, and that's when I'm like, oh, hey, do you want to like talk really quick and I'll tell you about what I'm doing? So it comes very natural, very like, hey, let's jump on a call, like, you know. So yeah, very natural type of approach.
Yeah, that's super smart. I love it.
Yeah, that that gave me an idea because I do the same thing. You know, like I work in an office dealing with people every day, and it just like it didn't dawn on me that I could use the same skills that I use at work because a lot of people just say the same thing to me. You know, like, oh, you know, I looked everywhere after I came to this department, but I only came back because I like you. You know, like, and you were so nice to us, and you were like the first person to smile at us or answer the phone, you know, like, or anything like that. So I was like, yeah, why am I not using that? You know, like what the heck? But I guess I need to hear you so I could like,
yeah, and that trust
yeah.
factor. Because it comes down to, we say this all the time, people can get Beachbody anywhere. They can get it anywhere on the internet. They choose you for you. And what better way to really find your people than by actually talking to them and making sure that you're the right fit for each other, really.
Yeah. And I think it was like a training that I listened to about being picky also, who you bring into your team. So you're also interviewing them. So a way to kind of get away from that fear of talking to somebody also is just like you're interviewing them. Like, do you want them on your team? And if you have like a stale conversation going on, you're like, okay, like it hasn't happened yet, thank God. But you could be like, all right, well, yeah, see ya, talk to you later. And just like, you know, right then and there, you don't want to deal with them. You also get a really good sense of their commitment. And, you know, are they slackers or are they like hardworking people that you want as a coach, or you want, like, you know, they're going to succeed and follow through on a challenge. So you're looking at them too to see what kind of person they are. They're looking at you and they're, you know, do they feel comfortable with you, and you're representing what you're offering them. But you have to remember, you're also looking at them and listening to their answers, and do you want them in your group, and are those the answers that you want to hear from? Because yeah, you want to sign people up, but I think the value in having the right people in your group means a lot more. I know it does to me. After hearing that training, it really sunk in, like, I need to be picky of who I'm choosing too. And I think that's kind of made me look differently at the types of people that I'm requesting. Like, I don't just hit follow on everybody. Like, I'm looking at them, and that might take me a little bit longer. But I know that it's more genuine. It's like, oh, she looks like someone that I would hang out with. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not just like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. You're choosing what sticks. And you know, even if the call takes an hour, like you said, you're almost doing like the invite and the follow-ups all in one. So okay, maybe it's an hour up front, and that might sound like a longer process, but when you think about how many times you follow up with someone on social media, how many messages you send out, and all of this extra time, it's probably that, if not more, just spread out over time. So, you know, I think that it's definitely worth it to have a high value connection and relationship built this way. And it's clearly working for you. So I think that that's amazing. I love this.
Yep. And just remember to be you. That's all. Because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And they're going to get that.
I know when I first met you, I feel like I was so, I don't know if sometimes I told you guys that we met in Reno. And because she brought her son to do racing. And when I first met her, I was like, hi, hug, and everything, you know, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's from New York, you know, like, she was like, what are you doing? Like, here, like, everybody is, I was like, well, at least she knows who I really am.
Yeah, I was nervous to meet you. I mean, of course you're going to have those little fears, but once we did meet, it was like instant connection. And that's probably what you're going to get from somebody that you talk to on the phone too.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it all works. I hope you guys are able to set up a phone call with somebody, and you know, and remember, like, for me, before being a coach and doing stories, I never would get on a video chat, not even like with my parents. Like, I hated seeing myself on the camera. So remember that when you're asking other people to do a video call with you, because chances are they probably hate it too. And it's just as intimidating for them. This girl that I just spoke to, I asked her, I said, hey, do you mind if I video chat you? And she's like, no, a call would be fine. So I was like, okay, like no problem. So, and they're still gonna get that same vibe from you, because like just talking to her, I was smiling like the whole time I was talking, and I'm sure she probably got that from me.
Yeah.
Whereas a text is just like dull and black. So
People make up their own tone in a text. So like you could be speaking in a totally bubbly, happy way and while you're texting, and they read it as you being like a sarcastic, dry face. Like you have no idea. People just, whatever ideas they already have in their head are the ideas that they're going to put into something that they're reading. But you can't do that when someone is smiling at you and being genuine and nice.
Exactly.
So good. Thank you so much.
I have one question. When you mentioned you do you watch videos together, do you do like a screen sharing thing, or how does that? Yeah.
So to be honest with you, I haven't actually done the screen video share. Leah had. So she could let you know about it.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do that.
I can show you an example if you want, if it works.
I know you use Zoom, right? You have to be using Zoom to do like a screen share?
Yes. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I made a website that cost me 99 cents. I personally wanted it for a blog, but to also have a place to put videos so people don't have to see the ones after YouTube, the ones of like, oh, why I quit Beachbody. It's like, I don't want people watching that after I send them this video. So it's actually one of the videos that Becky found, I believe, but it just does such a good job of explaining what coaching is. So I literally just press play and we watch it together. Sometimes I'll pause it at key points of like when they're making a face of like, you get free trips. I'll like pause and be like, yeah, it's not too good to be true. And like I'll tell them like, oh, my coach is going on a trip or on a cruise in March, and I'm working towards earning one in Punta Cana kind of thing. But this video is just 11 minutes. So it's just nice, quick, and literally will answer almost all of their questions. And then like Vanessa said, they can't ignore you because you're right here and talking to them. So you can like overcome the objections before they even happen because you're not letting them have time to think of all those concerns and everything and have people talk crap about Beachbody.
Right.
And you can actually create a free Zoom account. You don't have to worry about paying for it or anything like that. So you can literally create one for free so that you can do things like this and have the screen share and all that kind of stuff. And then also, if you don't want to build a website, you can embed that video in a free Google form and then just pull up the Google form and play it that way. So the same thing. YouTube is amazing, but they do tend to link to like related topics. Yeah. And depending on how good the people who post those related topics are at like targeting tearing down a business, and it's usually people who didn't take the time to learn how to build their business, and now they're saying that their coach failed them or something like that. You can avoid all of that, like Leah said, and put it in a Google form.
Okay.
I didn't know you could use the Google form. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and Vimeo, I think that's how you say it, tends to be a better platform than YouTube. And I know Beachbody shares all of like the high quality videos, like the one that Leah uses on Vimeo, and then you have less to worry about as well. So those direct links are really great too.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, another nice thing is just that if you're doing it on Zoom and everything and you're watching the video together, you can also watch their facial expressions at different points in the video to see like what they like react to. So it's like if it's the trips, if it's the home workouts and stuff like that. So
I love that. Yeah.
Back to you, Vanessa.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you don't have Zoom, which I don't know why I haven't set up a Zoom account. I was just gonna get like bootleg on them and put my camera and flip it around to like my iPod or something, iPad, and just watch the video with them like that.
That works too.
Yeah, Zoom is much better and it's free, so why not? So, yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Awesome. Thank you so much, Vanessa. This was so, so good. I love you. This was amazing.
Thank you. I wanted
Thank
to
you.
have the experience, so yay.
I will share the recording in the team page.